Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I am your host, Bailey Hufstetler, and we are very excited, not that we've been waiting for such a long time. Here is the county general election and the state primary. I'm very excited to have a good friend of mine, Mr. Ted Engel.
Evening.
Yeah, he's here co-hosting with me tonight on this election result episode. Ted's public defender for Rhea County and several other counties too, right? You represent?
So Ray, Bledsoe, Sequatchie, Marion, Franklin, and Grundy counties, so the 12th Judicial District.
You're a busy man.
Busy man. It's very fun and rewarding job.
Yeah, well, good deal. But he's also the chairman for the Rhea County Republican Party as well. So very glad to have him here. We were just bantering back and forth before, and he's very knowledgeable about this, about elections and just about, different things when it comes to politics. And so I'm very glad to have him on with us tonight. So thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
We have a lot of very exciting races that we're watching tonight. We are going to focus on the contested races in Rhea County, and then for the general, and then also the state Senate race and the state House race. We're going to report on those as best we can with the state House and state Senate. We've got the state website pulled up. We will be able, obviously, to get real-time numbers for Rhea County, obviously. But so far as the other counties, hopefully the state's website will be quick and we'll be able to get those results. But most of the other races we will. We're just going to be focused on the contested races tonight. So we're looking at county executive, the sheriff race, county commission district 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then our Spring City commission race. So those are the results that we're going to be focusing on, along with the Tennessee Senate District 1, then Tennessee State House District 31.
And Bailey, I've got a couple of other races from around the state that I think folks might find some interest in, perhaps. I'm going to kind of have those going in the background over here. Won't be visible on the screen, but I'll provide updates as I see them.
Perfect.
I'm kind of curious about the governor's race. That's a big one that's on tonight. I think an important race for Tennessee is going to be a couple of congressional races. I think the Republican nominee for the 5th congressional district will be decided tonight. What's interesting about that is you have a Trump endorsed incumbent with a challenger who has been endorsed by Bill Lee.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And then also we've got an interesting race that's going to shape up for the 9th district, which we know was just redrawn.
Yeah.
So that will include, on the Democratic side, the two leading candidates are probably London Lamar and Justin Pearson. Justin Pearson, most notable, of course, from being one of the Tennessee Three. Yep. And on the Republican side, you've got a large field of candidates there. Most prominent is probably Brent Taylor, who is currently a state senator. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Who winds up being the nominees that that kind of go to the mat in November. So I'll kind of be keeping an eye on those too to see how that turns out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you for that. And so we're very excited about everything that we're covering tonight. And we're going to be bantering back and forth a little bit just about, the races. And then polls will close at 8. Once the polls close, then we'll start getting results in. I have an individual at the courthouse waiting for results to come in. So just going to do a shout out. Thank you, Cheyenne, for Cheyenne Lambeth. Thank you for being down at the courthouse tonight, willing to work and willing to do that for me. So thank you so much. So Ted, we've got several races that are obviously contested tonight. Several big positions in our county, especially. One of those being, the county executive race, which has three great candidates in it: Jack Kaufman, Adam McCrory, and Ron Travis.
Three men who clearly care deeply about Rhea County and about Rhea County's future. So a friend of mine has a term for that. It's an embarrassment of riches. We're very blessed in Rhea County to have that.
Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting to see, how that's going to turn out and what that's going to look like. We'll know shortly after 8 o'clock what that's going to look like.
We should.
Adam's worked really hard, been out in the community. Ron's obviously well known, and then Jack also, working with his nonprofit, and they've all been readily available, with campaign stops. They did the debate, so I think it's going to. We're very interested to see.
At this point, I think it's fair to say that any Rhea County who has wanted to has had an opportunity to meet the county executive candidate in this race. This has been a really hard-fought campaign put on by these three gentlemen.
It's going to be very interesting to see. And then the next race, obviously, is the sheriff, which is John Argo and Jeff Hancock. So John Argo is the Republican nominee that won in the primary, and then Jeff is that the independent candidate that won, or that didn't win. He hadn't been on the ballot yet, but who's running as an independent. So definitely interested to see how that turns out. I think John, with being, actually having a party behind him, I think is probably going to really show pretty big tonight, but we'll see how that goes. As
the chairman of the Rhea County Republican Party, I like to think that gives you a pretty big advantage, but who knows? We'll see. It would not be the most shocking thing that's ever happened, but I think that John goes into it with some pretty serious advantages.
I think he does too. So, and Jeff both. I mean, John and Jeff both, really good men.
Once again, two men who do care deeply about the future of Rhea County. I think that's clear.
Yep. And we have, John, who is, got a wealth of experience, in the sheriff's department already, running the department, on the chief deputy side, but also, having that, just that law enforcement experience. And then Jeff has that too. Jeff was a sergeant, maybe even still is a sergeant with the Dayton Police Department.
And he's currently the SRO at Dayton City. Is that right?
Yeah,
so,
he is, yeah.
What a great place to make an impact on people as a police officer.
Yeah.
That's a very respectable thing to do.
And something that Jeff said, so we actually, me and my family, we go to church with the Hancocks, and Jeff actually mentioned, that even if he loses, he still gets to go back to a job that he loves. So, that's something that I think is commendable.
Yeah.
To be able to look on the bright side if it doesn't work out the way you want it
to. And really, as somebody who did this 4 years ago, right? 4 years ago, it was August the 4th, so 4 years ago, 2 days ago, right? I was on the edge of my seat, heart racing. I was on the ballot then, running for public defender, and I just want to take a second to recognize all these people who have put their names on the ballot, who have signed up to be judged by their fellow man, and who've signed up to serve their communities. That is not an easy thing to do. It's a hard thing to do, and it's nerve-wracking to put yourself out there and to open yourself up to criticism, open yourself up to being judged by others. And I really appreciate everybody who has done that. Even the Democrats that are on the ballot, I appreciate that they did it, because our system doesn't work unless we have choices. Yeah. And it's certainly commendable that these folks have given us choices.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that I've even said on several, with different candidate interviews that I've done is that whenever you are running for office, you're in a fishbowl, and everything you do or don't do is criticized or praised, mostly criticized. And so, to be able to put yourself out there and be willing to, to do that, it's very, very commendable.
It is. It's not an easy thing, and it's and really just it's a stressful thing, and stress is dangerous. Stress hurts people, and it's hard to live with stress. And these folks willingly took it on themselves to go through this very stressful thing that they're doing, and they're doing it not just for themselves but for all of us.
Yeah.
And so I think we never need to lose sight of that those names on the ballot are human beings.
Yeah.
Those names, when ugly mail shows up in the mailbox, those are human beings.
Yep.
And they have families, and they have wives, and they have daughters, and they have sons, and they have husbands, people that care about them. And and I think it's always good to keep that in mind when you're talking politics, is that these are real people and real lives they affect.
Yeah. And I was very surprised, which I expected in state and federal politics, but, it was which not a lot of the races in Rhea County, but there were some in Rhea County that got a little more heated than what I thought it was going to do, a
little testy.
So that's, it's been, and I hope that, people, the candidates that did this election cycle, I hope that they realize that people don't respond to that well. Something that I always will remember is, whenever I worked for Governor Lee's campaign, the first time that he ran for his first term here in Rhea County, and I'll never forget, we all thought Randy Boyd was going to win that. I mean, Randy was very heavy. He had a really big, heavy presence here in Rhea County.
If you had asked me in July of 2018? Is that right?
I think so.
If you'd asked me in July of 2018 who Tennessee's next governor was going to be, I would have said either Randy Boyd or Diane Black.
Yeah.
Bill Lee would have. I would have thought he would come in third. I mean, what a shocker! What a dark horse candidate he was. And to have such a successful 8 years that he's had is pretty incredible.
Yeah, but I think what shifted was, at the beginning it started out really clean between Randy and and Diane and even Bill, Bill Lee, but there was a shift whenever the attack ads started happening with, Diane Black and Randy Boyd, and there was just a shift in the atmosphere there.
Yep.
People just don't respond to that well.
Yeah, and it really, Bill Lee's campaign really didn't engage to that, at least not to the extent that Diane Black and Randy Boyd did.
Yeah.
I think it made a difference for him.
It did.
It really did.
So I hope that the candidates that did participate in that this term, this go around, they realize that for next time.
One thing that's been interesting about this election in particular, anybody that lives in Rhea County, particularly if they're a Republican primary voter, if they tend to vote, and if they voted in 3 of the last 4, or 4 of the last 4, maybe even 2 of the last 4 Republican primaries, obviously there's been a lot of mail coming in. And what's been interesting about this race is it's been a while since we've had a race on our ballot here in Rhea County that has attracted as much PAC interest as our state representative race, and to a lesser extent state senate, but especially state representative. 4 years ago there was quite a bit of PAC. There was some PAC interest for our state senate race. We had a primary between Mark Hall and Adam Lowe, and so that attracted some PAC money. But the kind of the backstory on that is that there has been a movement for school vouchers in Tennessee. Yeah. And 4 years ago, that was not something that existed yet, and so that was kind of a simmering primary battle. I mean, it's been discussed for 40 years in Tennessee politics to some extent or another, but it really it was something that was in reach for those who wanted it 4 years ago, and so there were a lot of primaries around the state where that became an issue, and the Lowe Hall primary was one of those, and this time around, it has happened. Yeah. That is now the policy of the state. A school voucher bill passed, and so Bimbo McCauley has run a campaign on a very vocal anti-school voucher message, a very anti-school voucher platform. He's a longtime member of the Rhea County School Board. Is he still the chairman? I don't think he's still the chairman, but he has been in the past. If he's not still,
I'm almost certain he might
still be.
Yeah, I think so.
But he has been in the past if he's not still, and he's been on the school board for probably 20 years, and so he's ran he's a strong believer in public education, public schools, and so he's made that a centerpiece of his campaign, and that has attracted a lot of PAC interest because there aren't as many races where that's an issue now as there were 4 years ago. So you have all this money, all these interest groups that have an interest in school vouchers. They want to see that as a matter of public policy, and so that money is not sprinkled in as many different places this year, not quite as many as it was 4 years ago. Yeah. So that's really what's led to a lot of what people are seeing in their mailboxes or seeing in text messages on their phones is PAC money that really is kind of circling in the universe of school vouchers. So it's kind of an interesting thing to watch how that plays out, and it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out tonight because you've got then in that House race, District 31, you have Bimbo McCauley, who is a very well-known member of the Rhea County community, has significant ties, family ties, and otherwise to Bledsoe County. He was vice president of Lazy Boy. Yeah. He ran the factory here in Rhea County for several years, and a lot of people live in Bledsoe County and work at Lazy Boy. Oh. And then that district goes down into Sequatchie County and Van Buren County. And then his opponent, it's an open seat because Ron Travis is obviously running for county executive here in Rhea County. But what you have is his opponent is from Bledsoe County and is pretty well known over there. He's a county commissioner, Andy Swafford, and it's kind of been a race about school vouchers in a way because that's where the money's coming from. So it's going to be interesting to see how Andy's a young guy. He's in his late 20s. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if all that PR, all that advertising can come in and overcome the name recognition Bimbo already has here in Rhea County. And so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And the reason I brought this up is you were talking about negative campaigning. Yeah. one of the things that I think a lot of people suspect is that when most of the negative mailers I've seen this campaign, both in our state Senate race and our state House race, has been in the form of mailers from PACs, or text messages from PACs, or ads on Facebook from PACs, political action committees. Yeah. And those are prohibited by law. The candidates can't coordinate with them. And that's a serious thing. Now, sure, these people are kind of parts of broader coalitions. Yeah. Everybody kind of knows who's on whose side on major issues. But, Andy Swafford can't pick up the phone and call Americans for Prosperity and say, hey, quit running ads, quit sending out mailers against Bimbo McCauley. That's a campaign finance violation. Yeah. Adam Lowe can't do that and say, hey, quit running ads against Teresa Congiloso. Yeah. On the flip side, Bimbo can't call up the Tennessee Education Association and say, "Hey, quit sending mailers endorsing me." Yeah, they can't. Yeah. They can't do that. And so I know some candidates. I talk to all of them. Like my capacity as party chairman is to be neutral in primaries and to provide kind of structural support or just general support for the Republican platform, Republican Party. And I know that sometimes there's frustration even from candidates. I won't name specific names, but it happens. Yeah. And so it's interesting to see whether all that negativity that has come in from outside and from outside sources and some from inside sources. There have been some people in individual campaigns that have gotten negative. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out and how it affects the races tonight.
And I'm glad you mentioned the PAC, because I actually, whenever we, me and my wife were actually talking about it earlier today, is that a lot of people do not realize that about the PACs. They automatically assume that it's the candidates that's sending those, mailers, or that they have some sort of, way to, and I've even, seen some candidates even, say that, that it's the other candidate doing this and this and this. But, it's just one of those things where, you have to be educated, and you have to take it with a grain of salt and just, and just look and actually, if you're not sure, ask questions before you let that make the decision on who you vote for. Because I've seen a lot of people say on Facebook and, just in passing is that, whenever I receive these, I know who not to vote for. Yeah. And I'm like, but you can't really base it on that, because those things may or may not be factual, first off. Yep. And two, they may. I had one the other day actually about Bimbo, and it had an AI picture of Bimbo sitting in a car with Kamala Harris. And I'm like,
I know Bimbo McCauley. I'm pretty sure he's never ridden in a car with Kamala Harris.
He is not. He is not.
Yeah, and, what's funny about that, though, is I know somebody who's been out campaigning actually for one of the county executive candidates. And she has talked to people who have said, I can't believe Bimbo McCauley had his picture made with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. AI is rough on people. Oh, yeah. And it's never been more important to keep a skeptical eye than it is right now. Oh, yeah. Because it is there's so much information out there that is 20 years ago would have been in the form of a cartoon, a drawing or an obvious Photoshop, right? Yeah. But generative AI really makes it possible to do things that look real. Oh, yeah. And if you're not clued in, you got to really, every time you see something, you got to look twice. Yeah.
And ask questions. Because AI is very, it can make it look very believable.
If it seems too incredible to be true, it probably is. You definitely, if it seems outrageous, you might want to check before you hit the share button. That's kind of a good rule to live by.
Exactly. So very interested to see how all that plays out and see how all that works. So moving into the other county commission races, so we have District 1, who's got B.B. Blevins, Jonathan Roberts, and Billy Thedford. Billy Thedford is the incumbent in that race, so we'll see how that goes. District 2 is actually going to be very interesting, because it's a seat that has been held for a long time by Jim Reed, who is well known in this community, been county chairman, for a long time as well. And to not see, I didn't even realize until the other day I was looking, which I hadn't talked to Jim in a while, but I was looking, I was like, wait, I don't see Jim's name on this sample ballot. What's going on?
I was shocked that Jim decided not to run for re-election. Yeah. He's been such a fixture in Rhea County politics for such a long time that it'll be interesting to see how that race turns out.
I almost thought, and he will probably kill me if he's watching this in season and hears me say this, I almost thought that at one point that he'd run for county executive.
I had the same thought.
Yeah. So sorry, Jim. Not trying to talk you into it or anything, but just saying, I definitely expected that at some point.
Well, after watching how ugly this campaign cycle's been, he may not want any of that, or anybody else may not. We may have no candidates next time.
Exactly. Exactly. And then District 3, Philip Dunn and Mindy Mindy Smith Newell. Philip's the incumbent in that seat, and Mindy, she, well known in this community, her dad well known in this community. And I just want to also, while we're on this, I want to send my deepest thoughts and prayers to her and her family. She just recently lost her dad, and then now her mom, Cookie, who is, a staple in this community, in the catering community. Catered a lot of events that I've been a part of and with different organizations I've been a part of. I don't know the details, but I know that she posted on her Facebook page today that she would not be able to be at the polls waving at people like she was hoping to because her mom is very sick or in critical condition.
That's terrible.
So she's spending that time with her mom. She said in her post, she said, I don't know how much longer we have with her. So there must be something going on critical. I've not talked to her or talked to her son or anything about it, but just want to send my deepest condolences and prayers to them, whatever's going on in that situation, and what's ever going on, with her, with Cookie. I know, like I said, just losing her dad, and then now, whatever's going on with her mom, it's really hard. So I hate to hear that.
Yeah, I hate to hear that too. And before you move on for that, something else, something interesting there, because I'm a politics junkie.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what I am. And what's interesting about that race for a county commission seat in a county that's not really all that populous. I mean, it is compared to other counties in our immediate area. Certainly larger than Bledsoe or Sequatchie County, for instance, Meigs County. But Hamilton County has got 380,000 people, I think, so they're 10 times our size and then some. Mindy, what a professional race she has run.
Yeah.
And I think I'm assuming part of that's due to the influence of her son. Her son's obviously he works. Who does he work for in D.C.?
So he worked for Chuck Flashman. He's now back home now.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's not in D.C. He actually just got married. So he's moved back from D.C. I'm assuming it's here. It may be somewhere else, but I know that he's not in D.C. anymore. From what I've gathered looking at Facebook.
Well, it's just interesting if you watch during campaign season and you compare one campaign to another, and you see and not even for the same office, even for different offices, and you kind of see those who are embracing mass communication, those who are embracing Facebook, those who are embracing ways to try to get messages to voters. And that's one of those I think that's been pretty innovative, especially considering it's a county commission race for doing that. And once again, you have the same thing about Philip Dunn. He's been a county commissioner for, 8 years now?
I would say, yeah.
And retired highway patrolman, certainly a wonderful individual, a great man, somebody who cares about this county. And it'll be interesting to see, once again, how you have that, hey, here's a modern campaign facing off of maybe a more traditional campaign with somebody who's very well established in there, and it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, and Mindy's made it very clear. Family comes first, so she's that's something too that I commend her for. Is running a campaign is not easy. And when you have, running a campaign on top of family trials and family issues, family, the medical emergencies, things like that, you kind of have to put the campaign on the back burner and let God do His work, and let the people do their homework, and so we'll see how that turns out for her and see how that goes.
Elections come and go, but you only get one mom.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And then moving into District 4, you have Dustin Henderson, Marty Revis, and Leo Stevens, which Leo is the incumbent in that seat. If I'm not mistaken, Leo has always had competition, I believe, or at least I feel like he has. I don't know if he had competition last time, but
I don't remember about last time. But that's also an interesting race because you have Dustin Henderson, who ran a pretty strong county executive race 4 years ago and really got a knack for getting out and communicating with voters. I think he didn't win. That was a really splintered field. You had 5 candidates, I think. I think Jim Vincent obviously won, but I don't think Jim Vincent broke 40% of the vote. I think he was in the 30s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Jim barely. I mean, it was hundreds
of
of
close.
Votes. Yeah,
the vote was split up very badly in that race, and I think Dustin Henderson was one of those people who I think made a strong impression on a lot of people running for county executive. And hey, this guy's got a lot on the ball. Dustin's in probably his early 40s. Yeah. He's a businessman. He owns a home inspection business, and then works at Bryan College. Yeah, and so he's somebody who I think if you had to pick kind of a rising star in Rhea County politics to watch, he's certainly one of those people. Yeah. And so I would expect him to give a strong challenge to Leo Stevens tonight. Leo, once again, been on the county commission for a long time. He's a successful business person in town. A lot of people know and like him. I know and like Leo. Yeah. And so is it enough to overcome that? I don't know. Yeah. But it's really the geek in me likes seeing the race and seeing how it turns out. So.
Yeah, especially with 3 of them running. I mean, one of them is going to pull votes from the other.
Sure, that's exactly right.
So we'll see how that plays out. So District 5 being, which is my district, where I live, you got Justin Davis, Emily Fisher, who's the incumbent in that race, Frankie Robinson, and Justice Stout. Justice is, new to politics. Justin is as well. Justin actually used to be the Veteran Affairs guy here for Rhea County.
Marine Corps veteran, I believe, wasn't he? He was in the Marine Corps?
Yeah. And then, you got Frankie, who's been in the fire department, in the city of Dayton. Dad owned a business here as well, and Frankie picked that up, after his dad passed. And, so you've got 4, and with Justice, Justice hasn't ran for politics, but he's, been very immersed in the community, very involved.
That's another one of those races where I would expect whoever wins that race to have 32% of the vote, 33% of the vote. I mean, you talk about 4 people who are respected, who are liked, who have run good campaigns. Seeing Justice run down the Strawberry Festival on his float with his treadmill, and then certainly Frankie and Emily and Justin. It's going to be that's probably going to be our most splintered vote result tonight. I would expect.
Yep, definitely going to be watching that one. And then we have our Spring City Commission race, which 2 of these individuals will win tonight. There's 2 seats open. You have Howard Gillum, Robbie Harvey, Karen Murray, and Jenna Sherrill. Howard is actually used to be mayor of Spring City at one time, moved away, and then actually came back to Spring City. Very well-known guy. Robbie, obviously, has been very involved in the community, very involved in Spring City. Robbie's the Spring City Chamber of Commerce president, also over the tourism. He's the president or chairman, whatever you want to call it, of the tourism council up there. Karen Murray, who hasn't ever ran for politics, but she used to work at Gastown for a long time, a big staple there in that community. Probably knows everybody because of that, because if you live in Spring City or go through Spring City, you've went to Gastown.
Everybody's been to Gastown. I think I've bought more food there than gas, though.
Yes.
I always stop and get. Don't they have a Subway in there?
Yeah.
They used to have a Subway.
It's a Subway, and then there's a. It's been so long since I've remember. I can't even. There's either a Domino's or it's a pizza. I think it's Pizza Hut now. It used to be Domino's, and then now it's Pizza Hut. But
I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
It is 8:02. That means the polls are officially closed all over the state. So convenient for us, because we've got to wait on some counties in Central Time.
Yeah.
To come back for our local House race here.
Yeah.
But they all close at 7 Central Time. So all the polls in Tennessee are closed. So it's all over but the crying.
Yeah.
I guess there may be some folks in line places that still have votes to cast. But
exactly.
But I've got the races I'm following here. I've got pulled up on the Secretary of State's website. I'm primarily looking because I'm kind of looking beyond a little bit. I'm looking to see who the nominees for governor are.
Yeah.
Tracking a couple of House races, like I mentioned. And there's a race on the ballot today that is important to a lot of the behind the scenes of Tennessee politics, but most people don't realize is State Executive Committee.
Yeah.
There is a contested race for our Republican Executive Committee woman for the 1st District of Tennessee, and the way that works is each district in Tennessee, each Senate district, elects a man and a woman to serve on the Tennessee Republican Party and the Tennessee Democratic Party's executive committees, and they're like the board of directors for the state party for both Republicans and Democrats. So they have a lot of they're pretty important people in ways that we just don't see.
Yeah.
There was a pretty big dust up 6 months ago or so with candidates getting kicked off the ballot because they hadn't voted in very many Republican primaries. You had to have voted in 3 of the last 4 statewide Republican primaries to run as a Republican candidate. Kind of a way to close the primary a little bit without having the legislature do it. Well, those were the people that decided to do that with the Republican State Executive Committee. So it'll be interesting to see how that race turns out since we have a contested race there. That doesn't happen every year.
I would say, and I actually so Emily. Being the incumbent of that race, she I've seen her out and about. She's been everywhere, and
despite some pretty severe health challenges, she's been out and about, really working this election hard. And then Judy Cooley, same. I've seen her at a number of events recently, and she's out there trying to be of service. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
And she's ran several times, hasn't she?
She has served in various capacities. She's across the river. I can't remember if she's in Athens or Cleveland. It's escaping me right now. But she's been a very active Republican in various non-elected positions or positions that are elected by like the local county party of the county she lives in. I'm not sure whether she's run for state executive committee woman before. Yeah. She may have, and I'm just not aware of it.
I think she did whenever it was before the last time. Whenever it was different counties, before they redistricted.
Before we were in this district,
yeah.
That would be why. Because we were. So the last election, 2022, was our first election in the first district. Before we had Senator Yeager was our senator. Yeah. Before him, Tommy Kilby. So we were in the same district as Roane County, Morgan County, up that way. So it may have been then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, we are like we said, polls are closed at this point. We are going to go ahead and take a short break. We've got some went on the campaign trail today. Went out to the different polling locations. Interviewed candidates. We also have some messages from our advertising partners, and I do want to really quick because I didn't get to everybody today that are our advertising partners, and so I didn't get a chance. It was very busy today. Didn't get a chance to get everyone included in this, and also didn't get to get all the candidates included in this either. They were all over the place. I went to pretty much the main polling locations. I went to Spring City, went to Dayton, the Welcome Center at Dayton. I went to Graysville, and then I went to the little it's a Pentecostal church down at the bottom of Dayton Mountain. I went there as well. Sandy Francisco. Sandy actually wanted me to tell you to get it together and get Marilyn a Coke. So she told me to tell you that.
She gets her own everything. Hey, I do. Before you go, I want to interrupt you. Bradley County just came in.
Okay.
I would assume this is probably its early vote and absentee. Looks like Adam Lowe, 3,801 votes. Dennis Beavers, 767. Teresa Congioso, 694. Okay. So the early vote in Bradley County looks to be breaking really hard for Adam Lowe.
Yeah. What was Dennis's?
Dennis was 767.
767, and then Teresa 694.
So it was 3801, 767, and 694.
Okay, gotcha. So it looks like Adam is, and that Bradley County is just one section of Bradley County.
That's
too.
Correct.
It's not even that not the full county of Bradley County. So that's a pretty strong number already starting out in that race. So wow, so good deal. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna. I wanted to share really quick. So I want to shout out Bishop Realty LLC for being one of our advertising partners. Piggly Wiggly Spring City, the Grand Hotel in Spring City, and then also Michael Woodley, who is running for State House District 31. He is on the Democrat ticket, so he's on this ballot. He doesn't have any opposition, so he will win tonight regardless and move on to the general. But he is an advertising partner for us as well. So give us a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and go to a quick break really quick, and then hopefully once we come back, some results will start coming in. Some early voting absentee results should possibly start coming in here soon, and then we'll be right back with you. Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines of Bailey Hufstetler. I am on the road today. It is election day, going through visiting with all the candidates, and I have Justice Davis here, who is running for County Commissioner District 5. How you feeling?
I'm glad today is election day.
Glad for it to be over.
Yeah, it's been a long road, man.
Yeah. So you've been traveling the county, talking to people in your district. How are you feeling today with it?
I just hope people will actually come out and vote. It's election day, so it's a big day, and people need to just come out and vote, let their voices be heard today.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for running, and we really appreciate you.
Okay, thank you, Bailey.
You're watching Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler, and my name is Bailey Hufstetler. I have Alvin here with us from Bishop Realty, located right here in the heart of Dayton, Tennessee, right next to the courthouse. Alvin, thank you for being willing to come on and be a part of the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So Bishop Realty actually is an advertising partner for our election coverage episode that's happening tonight. We're very excited about it, very excited about what's happening. And thank you and your dad. So this is actually Michael, who owns the agency. This is his son. So it's in your blood, it seems like.
Yep, it's the family business.
Exactly.
When I graduated high school, the state of Tennessee offered this licensing program where you can get your license for free online. And my dad pointed it out, said, hey, you can earn some money while you're in college. And me and Ben took the classes, and here we are.
Yeah, here you are, selling real estate, actively selling real estate here in Rhea County. What's your most favorite thing about selling real estate?
Every single deal is different. You get to encounter unique scenarios every single time. Everybody needs a little bit of different kind of help, and you get to do some really fun things.
So you mentioned college.
Yeah.
So you're studying or did study at?
I'm studying at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville in the Baker School of Public Policy, but they allow me to be flexible, and I have plenty of time to sell real estate on the side and get up to all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you're able to do both, and that's the great thing about real estate is it does give you that flexibility to be able to do that. Do you have any exciting things happening on the market right now that you want to tell people about?
Well, right now I have 3 investment properties about to come up for sale. If you know any investors, flippers, someone looking for an inexpensive flip home, give me a call.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, you heard him. Give him a call. If you have any real estate needs, give Alvin and the team here at Bishop Realty a call. The family-owned business right here in the heart of Dayton, Tennessee. Hello, you're watching Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I am Bailey Hufstetler. I'm here at Bishop Realty here in downtown Dayton, and I've got Aaron here who sells real estate here at Bishop Realty. Aaron, thank you for being here today. So Aaron, you sell real estate. So what is your most favorite thing about selling real estate?
Just helping people. You know, there's a lot of people that are out there that are in need, needing to have someone that they can trust, and that's what I like about this company as well. And so it's a very trustful name.
That's awesome. What'd you do before real estate?
Well, I was a flight paramedic for 25 years.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for your service for that. That's a tough job, and thank you for doing that. So what prompted you to switch from that to real estate?
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Well, that's awesome.
So
I think successful real estate agent is on the horizon for that. That's
yes, sir.
what you're going to be when you grow up. You got anything exciting going on in the real estate market right now that you'd like to let people know about?
Yeah, we just had a closing this morning. So I think that puts us at 26 right now for the books, so to speak. And so we have a lot more year left. So
that's awesome. Well, if you got any real estate needs, reach out to Aaron here at Bishop Realty here in downtown Dayton. Aaron, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I am here. I'm on the road today. It's election day, very busy. I am here with Mr. Frankie Robinson, who's running for County Commissioner District 5, and just wanted to just come on and just say hello. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good deal. Good deal. You've been busy today?
It's not been too bad today, but hopefully they'll come on out and start voting here shortly.
What would you like to say to the voters today?
I just want them to come out and vote for who their candidate is, and hopefully everything turns out to be good and turns out the way we want it to turn out.
Awesome. Thank you, Frankie, so much. You're watching Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I'm your host, Bailey Hufstetler. I am here today at the Bishop Realty office located right here in downtown Dayton next to the Rhea County Courthouse. And I have Ben here with me. Ben is a real estate agent with the Bishop Realty Agency. Ben, thank you for being on today.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you're actively selling real estate here in Dayton. What is your most favorite thing about selling real estate?
Well, I think it's interesting. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to help people out, and there's something interesting about every house or property. You really get to explore and get to find out what the odd little quirk is or interesting story behind it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What got you started in real estate?
Mr. Bishop offered to help me get through my real estate classes and offered me a job, and thought it was a pretty good opportunity, so I took it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have anything exciting happening on the real estate market right now that you want to let people know about?
Well, I just got through a closing. I just sold a house to some people from up in Kentucky, but that would be the main thing at the moment, I guess.
Yeah. Do you find that you have a lot of out-of-state people wanting to move here? Have you worked with a lot of clients or seen that lately?
Well, sort of. I think I've seen about 50-50 people that's from somewhere in Tennessee or people that's from outside of Tennessee. We've got a pretty good state, so a lot of people want to come here.
I would say, Tennessee is a good place to live, and if you need any real estate needs, you're the guy to talk to, I'm assuming, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Ben, thank you so much. I wish you best of luck in your real estate career as you grow. And again, thank you to Bishop Realty for being an advertising partner for us for this election coverage episode that you're watching tonight. We're very excited. If it wasn't for Bishop Realty and other companies like Bishop Realty, we would not be able to do things like this. So thank you so much. And if you've got any real estate needs, make sure that you come on down. Again, their office is located right in downtown Dayton, right across from the historic courthouse, and they will be happy to help you with any real estate need that you may have. Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I am on the road today. It's election day, so I'm traveling, talking to all the different candidates. We've got Justice Stout here, who is running for County Commission District 5. How you feeling?
I feel good. The weather's great. Got a little bit of cloud coverage, so it's not too hot. Everyone's really friendly, which I really appreciate. I love Dayton, love Rhea County. I'm excited to see the results come in today. I hope everyone gets out and votes.
So early voting, 3,800 and some change votes that's come in so far. Yep. Do you think that we're going to have a good turnout today, hopefully?
I mean, it seems like it. My guess is that the county executive race is going to drive a lot of traffic, which I think is a good thing. You know, obviously we want to see a lot of people voting. So yeah, I think we'll see a lot of traffic, but we'll find out tonight.
Yeah. Are you doing anything special? Watch parties, anything? Are you going to be at Centennial Park? Or
I'm going to be at Centennial Park. I think it's a fantastic tradition that Dayton and Rhea County has, and I think it's just a perfect example of how politics should be done. Yeah. Respectful, friendly. And so I'll be there. I'll be congratulating everybody. And win or lose, it'll be a great evening. And
Perfect. Well, good luck, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is Bailey Hufstetler, and I'm here with Michael today, and we are on Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. This is Michael with Bishop Realty. Bishop Realty actually was an advertising partner for tonight's episode of the special election coverage that we have going on. Michael, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for supporting local journalism. And thank you for being an advertising partner for us tonight. So we're here in your beautiful office that you have in downtown Dayton, right across the street from the courthouse. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about your real estate company.
We're a local real estate company. Like I say, we're right here on the courthouse square in Dayton. I've been in real estate 22 years, opened this company about 2 years ago, and we just enjoy serving the people of Rhea County.
So now you serve Rhea County. Are there any other areas around Rhea County that you serve?
Rhea and surrounding counties in real estate, you wind up going a distance sometimes. So, we wind up in Chattanooga, Crossville, Pikeville, Decatur, Rockwood. So
perfect.
Surrounding area.
Yeah. So you say you've been selling real estate for a long time, 22 years is what you said?
Yes.
What even got you started in the real estate business?
I was in the mortgage business originally and wound up putting deals together in the mortgage business and decided to get my real estate license and decided I like that side of it better. Yeah.
Well, very successful business. I actually see behind you 2026 best of the best for Rhea County. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we're in the top 3 there. Yeah. Happy to help people and get that recognition.
So, well, thank you so much. And again, thank you for being an advertising partner. If it wasn't for companies like yourself willing to invest in local journalism, we wouldn't be able to do things like this. So thank you so much. If you got any real estate needs, I encourage you to reach out to Bishop Realty right here in Dayton, right across from the courthouse. Give them a call, come by the office and see what they've got going on. We thank you so much. Have a good night. Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines of Bailey Hufstetler, and I am on the road today. It's election day, super busy. We've got candidates out everywhere campaigning, standing at poll locations, and I am here at the poll location next to the Rhea County Welcome Center. And I have Andy Swafford here. He is running for State Representative District 31. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great today. It's beautiful out here and a ton of people stopping by. We're just wanting to encourage people to get out and vote today and do their civic duty.
Yeah, so you cover a district. So you've got Rhea County, and then what are your other counties that you cover?
Bledsoe County, Sequatchie County, and Van Buren County.
How you feeling about those other counties, turnouts and stuff?
We're up across the district. This year with the governor's race going, I believe that we're going to have the biggest turnout we've seen since 2022.
Dale, you got anything you'd like to say to the voters today?
Get out and vote, support rural Tennessee.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Perfect. Awesome. So thank you for sticking with us during that break. We do have some results. We'll go ahead. We don't have any Rhea County results yet, but we do have some of Bradley County results for this state Senate race for District 1 with Adam Lowe, Teresa Congeloso, and Dennis Beavers. Looks like we've got Adam Lowe coming in with Bradley County at 3801. Dennis following behind that with 767, and then Teresa trailing with 694. So it's a pretty strong start, especially with that I don't know how big that section of Bradley County is, but that's a pretty big start.
And to be clear for folks watching at home, Bradley County is still showing 0 of 18 precincts reporting in this race. So they got 18 precincts that are within Adam Lowe and Beavers and Congoso's district. So that with 0 of 18, that means that is likely early voting plus absentee.
Yeah.
So that's what we're seeing out of that right now. One thing that's interesting, and it's going to be interesting, is there's, I think, a little bit of a political coalition that exists at state politics within the Republican Party right now, a little bit of factionalism. And one of those factions, Marsha Blackburn is clearly the leader of, and that is more of a maybe suburban faction of Tennessee Republicans. And then I think John Rose right now is kind of bearing the torch of rural Republicans. And that's not true across the board. I'm looking at numbers here. Marsha Blackburn is running strong in rural West Tennessee, which makes sense. That's where our House district was when she was in the State House, or the House of Representatives, Congress. But what it's going to be interesting to see. I think John Rose's campaign has really gained some momentum over the past couple weeks. Will it be enough to win an election? I don't know. Yeah. But it will be interesting to see, will that lead to some differences between early voting patterns and day of voting patterns? Because I know Adam Lowe has been firmly in Marsha Blackburn's camp. He's kind of in that faction of the Republican Party, to the extent such a faction even exists. But there's some faint lines of such a thing. And so I think that it's interesting how one of the things that we won't be talking about tonight, it's not really on anybody's radar, is the lieutenant governor is not running for re-election. He's retiring, and so the two leading candidates to be lieutenant governor are probably Paul Bailey, who's a senator from Middle Tennessee, and Jack Johnson, who's the Senate Majority Leader. He is also from Middle Tennessee, but he's from, I believe, Franklin, Tennessee, and so. Once again, you have a little bit of a suburban element, which Franklin would embody, and then Paul Bailey is more rural element. Yeah. And so I think Paul Bailey more aligned with John Rose, Jack Johnson more aligned with Marsha Blackburn. It's interesting to watch how that play out, and it'll be interesting to see. Right now, with early vote streaming in from across the state, Marsha Blackburn is about 43%, John Rose is about 33.5%. So it'll be interesting to see if that tightens, and will that affect races down the ballot? It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and that actually goes in line with the most recent poll. Even, they've got Marsha, doing the 44 to 63% of the vote, and then John, 10 to 29%. So it looks like that's trailing to be possibly the case. So Marsha's got a strong lead there already. Looking at here, we don't have any other results that have come in yet, but we're looking at really excited to see kind of what especially with our county executive and our sheriff race. Those have been the two biggest races, really, honestly, that we've been really hammering out, with the Observer, with doing the debates and all of that, and then the interviews and stuff. So very interested to see what that's going to look like, and what that's going to do, because we've all seen everything on social media and everything on Facebook between those two races, and so I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out, and looking at those results very very closely. Hopefully we'll have some of those start coming in here pretty quick, and we can start reporting on those. So yeah,
I'm just hitting refresh on the Secretary of State's website. I'm sure between me and other people, it's probably going to crash at some point tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, looking here, I'm refreshing these too. So
nothing new out of Bradley County. Looks like none of the other counties in either our Senate or House districts are reporting anything yet. It takes some time. Yeah, just kind of behind the scenes. Generally, what happens is you have the polling places. They're reporting their numbers to the each county's election commission, where they would show up on what we can see here is once they get put into the state's elections dashboard that's run by the Secretary of State's office. That all takes time. So the polls have been closed for about 20 minutes. But in any place where there are still people in line, they're not reporting results yet because they're not done voting. So if you're in line when the polls close, you still get to vote. So that adds some delay. But there are a lot of counties in Tennessee yet, and indeed all the counties in our House district and all but one of the counties in our Senate district who have not yet reported early voting and absentee numbers, and those usually come out right out of the gate. So it's interesting. There's a little bit of a delay there.
Yeah. I'm wondering how the turnout was today. So because early voting was a really big turnout for us in Rhea County. 38 and some change. 100 votes that voters that went out and voted. Today. Even in Dayton, it seemed like the polling location was busy. Spring Cities, I was up there for about an hour and a half today, and Spring City just kept. People were pulling in and out the whole time I was there. Smaller, so like the polling location at the bottom of Dayton Mountain was dead. There wasn't hardly anybody there. I think I sat there and talked to Sandy for a good 25, 30 minutes, and I think maybe 3 or 4 people showed up to vote there. And then in Graysville, there wasn't anybody voting whenever I think there was one that was voting there. So I'm wondering how I didn't get to go to all the polling locations, but wondering how today's turnout was.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see that.
I think Rhea County's early voting was up 37% versus 2022, I think. So the most comparable election was 4 years ago. Thinking about what was driving turnout 4 years ago, we had 5 candidates in the county executive race that would have driven some turnout. But we did not have a contested Senate primary. We did not have a contested House primary at the federal level. Well, we did, but it wasn't really driving turnout. Governor was not contested at the primary. We had some contested. We had a contested state Senate race 4 years ago. But I think Rhea County's primary driver 4 years ago in the August election was probably that county executive race. And so this year we have another county executive race, not with as many candidates as we had 4 years ago.
And the incumbent not running.
And the incumbent not running. Yep. We have a sheriff's race. Oh, it looks like we just got some numbers in House race. Let's see what counties this is. So the numbers that just came in for the House race show Andy Swafford 823 votes, Mbimbo McCauley at 487 votes. Let me look at the county breakdown on that. That's probably Bledsoe County, I'll bet. Let's see. It's not reporting county totals just yet. Sequatchie. So that would be Sequatchie's, probably Sequatchie's early vote.
So read that to me again.
So Andrew Swafford at 823 votes, and Bo McCauley at 487 votes. That is that's with 0 of 9 precincts reporting. So that's going to be their early and absentee.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's a pretty large vote gap there. If that holds tonight, Rhea County is about half the vote for this House district. The House district is 4 counties, but Rhea County is by far the largest county in that district. So Rhea County is a little less than half the vote probably. But if those numbers hold over there in the Sequatchie Valley, this could be a real nail biter of a race. Assuming if Bo overperforms in Rhea County, and then Swafford overperforms across the mountain, we could be sitting here all night watching returns flow in just on that race.
It looks like here that I'm getting some results in from Spring City. Let me put these on here really quick. So right now, let's see here. This is interesting. So I don't know. I'll have to find out and make sure. I don't know if these are today's just today's votes, or if this is early absentee. But right now it looks like whatever numbers these are, Robbie Harvey and Gina Sherrill are leading. Robbie's got 97. Gina's got 62. Howard Gillum at 47 and Karen at 27. I'm trying to verify and see, because surely that's definitely not all of them, obviously, but I don't know if that's early voting or if they post these at the door.
Unless those came straight from a polling place, I'll bet that's early absentee, because on the state election dashboard, nobody in our area is reporting precinct totals yet. It's all, everything appears to be early and absentee, from what I can tell here. Yeah. Now, of course, this has to go through the state elections dashboard, so there could be a little bit more of a time delay too. So those may be better numbers.
Yeah. This is actually a picture of. So this is today's votes. So this is actually a picture of what they posted on the door at City Hall in Spring City. So that precinct up there. There is something on here that's very interesting, and you may know the answer to this. So there's a section on here. So it says. So it's got the results, and then it's got a write-in, but then it says undervotes. And it's got 94. What is that? What does that mean?
So
it's got undervotes at 94 and overvotes at 0.
Spring City municipal election, is it the top 2 vote getters go on the commission? Yeah. I think an undervote would generally be one where if they only voted for one person.
Oh, gotcha.
So they could have selected up to 2, and they only selected 1 or 0.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
that gives you the total of ballots cast. That would explain a difference between the votes each candidate got and the total ballots cast.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah, I've never seen that before. So it looks like, as of right now, Robbie and Gina are carrying that. They done well today on today's votes. So that looks pretty, looks pretty promising. Which Robbie's been on this show, quite a bit. He was here with you. Robbie's been very involved in the community in Spring City, so definitely didn't have any doubt that he was going to do well in Spring City. And then Gina, I don't know much about Gina, but it seems like she's doing okay right now. So we'll see how this race unfolds. Scroll up here and look and see if there's not any other results that have been come in yet for anything. So
looking at races from more around the state, it looks like what's continuing to flow into the state elections dashboard is early and absentee, obviously, because the precincts come much slower, but we're still at Marsha Blackburn about 43.5%, John Rose about 31.5%, and then Monty Fritz at just shy of 25%. So that's what will also be interesting to see is Monty Fritz's campaign has had a couple controversies over the last couple weeks, and if these are early votes and absentee votes coming in, will his totals hold with day of voting?
Yeah.
Because Marsha Blackburn is such a well-known figure in Tennessee politics. I would think that most of the votes Monty Fritz is getting would have been more likely to go to John Rose than her. Not guaranteed, obviously. You never know, but I think that that it'll be interesting to see. Do John Rose's numbers tick up, or do Marsha Blackburn's numbers tick up if Monty Fritz has a weaker day of turnout?
Yeah.
Or maybe some of those voters just stay home. I know Monty Fritz is somebody who certainly engendered a lot of excitement from a lot of people, and I mean, I think among the people running for governor, Monty Fritz had some of the most energized supporters out campaigning for him. So when people get energized like that, if they decide that, hey, I don't know if I want to support this person anymore, they may just stay home. So it'll be interesting to see how much of an effect that has.
Yeah. He actually, Monty, come on the show and done a really good interview.
Super nice guy.
Super
nice guy.
Yeah. And then looking at some of the things that he said here, after early voting's already started, kind of makes me raise my eyebrows a little bit to see how that's going to look.
He definitely he's extremely conservative, and Tennessee is a very conservative state. I don't know if Tennessee is as conservative as Monty Fritz.
Yeah.
And so that'll be, how does that play out?
Yeah.
He's really gotten out there with some things that you would not typically hear a candidate for public office say. Yeah. And so will that affect his turnout? I don't know.
Yeah. What's his numbers right now?
Right now, at the governor's race, you've got 58,812 votes for Marsha Blackburn, 42,720 for John Rose, 33,363 for Monty Fritz. So Monty Fritz is sitting with about 25% of the vote. And again, this appears to be early and absentee from various places around the state. Yeah. I don't know. I had the county by county totals. Let me see if any of the big counties are in yet from early and absentee. I'll get back to you in just a second on that. Let me look. Let me scroll down for Davidson.
So it looks. Oh, go ahead.
Because Davidson's heavily Democratic, but there are a lot of Republican voters in Davidson County, and Davidson County is reporting nobody yet.
Okay.
And the other thing to look out for too is in this governor's race that could make things interesting. Is speaking of Davidson County, so Marsha Blackburn is an extremely well-known figure in Republican politics, and she is one of the most conservative members of the United States Senate. She's on Fox News a lot. She's a very strong supporter of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And Tennessee has open primaries. So there will be some number of Democrats who cross over to vote for somebody other than Marsha Blackburn because they don't like Marsha Blackburn.
Yeah.
And will they vote for Monty Fritz or John Rose? Don't know. But there will be some number of people that do that. And will it be enough to matter?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people living in Davidson County. Davidson County's got 1 million residents.
Yep.
I don't know how many they vote, but that's a distinct possibility is that it could be enough to if the race is close, which right now it doesn't look close. It looks like Marsha Blackburn. If the early voting totals hold through day of voting, there's going to be an insurmountable lead there.
Yeah.
But if that race turns out close, that crossover voting can have an impact, and it'll be interesting to see whether there is one. But looking at these numbers, like here's Greene County, very up north, East Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn 1660, John Rose 1243. Let me find another one here. Hawkins County 1317 for Marsha Blackburn, John Rose for 1195. So really, for John Rose to be a serious threat to Marsha Blackburn, he has to be blowing out rural counties, and he's not. Marsha Blackburn in Houston County 490, John Rose 334. Humphreys County, Marsha Blackburn 696, 564. So you're not. I mean, you're not seeing those blowouts you have to see in rural Tennessee for what is effectively an insurgency to take hold. It's just, it does not appear to be coming together. So unless day of totals are very different.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said earlier, I mean, this race seems to be for Gavin, which, I mean, I think, Marsha Blackburn, I mean, like you said, well-known figure in politics, so definitely knew that she was going to do well.
Sure.
Thought that maybe John would do a little bit better than what he's doing, just because of the momentum and just, because, especially here in Rhea County, which I know we don't have any results for Rhea County yet when it comes to the governor's race, but, a lot of people, whenever you talk about John, they know him personally. So he seems to, be able to build, knows a lot of people in this area.
He has so we'll one thing I will say that has impressed me about his campaign is he's done a great job of getting out and meeting voters.
Yeah.
The problem is retail politics only takes you so far.
Yeah.
Right? So you get out there and you shake somebody's hand. That may make them more likely to vote for you. It doesn't guarantee they're going to vote for you. But you can't shake every hand.
Yeah.
You can't. You can only shake a small fraction of the hands that are going to go in there and fill out a ballot.
Yeah.
And so when you're running a race that's bigger than a local race, that's and this doesn't just require for governor. This is true for state senate. This is true for state representative.
Yeah.
Even the judicial races. You can't shake enough hands to swing an election. It's just not possible. Now, it's important to do that because people do talk, and if it's a close election, then okay, that can make a difference.
Yeah.
But these races generally are going to be decided by all the PR, the advertising, the driving of name recognition that goes in before them.
Yeah.
You can't. You can knock on every door in a county commission district or a county or a school board district. You can't knock on every door in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so he's run an excellent campaign from that front. But Marsha Blackburn has what name recognition she has.
Yeah.
So that's a huge burden to overcome.
Looks like the Senate race has some more results that's come in. Maybe, no, I guess not. Never mind. Wait, hold on.
It looks like there might
looks like Meg's did. Meg's come in for Adam. So let me update. Let me just do this really quick. I'm going to update all of this.
So again, Meg's is showing 0 of 6 precincts reporting, which means this is again their most. This is probably their early and absentee.
Yeah. So 4371. And before you show that spreadsheet, Bob, don't show it yet because we're getting other results too. Let me get this updated and then we'll. And if you hear me talking to a guy named Bob on the broadcast, that's our producer in the back. So with BKP Studios, very thankful for them, for him and his wife. His wife actually worked for us today too and did some stuff for us. So thank them both for that.
This is my second time getting to sit behind this desk here with Bob over there, and he's doing an incredible job.
Yes, he is. He does really good. So, all right. So it looks like right now for the Senate race in District 1, Adam Lowe leading with 4,371, Dennis Beavers 967, and then Teresa 822. So that's what that race is folding up. And then let's look. We actually do have some results for the county executive race with 2 out of 14 precincts. We've got Adam McCrory with 1,483, Ron Travis 1,961, and Jack Kaufman with 325.
You know which precincts those are?
I don't. No, they don't say what the precincts are. Well, it looks like we're getting some live results for the county commission race. So we have Billy Thedford, the incumbent for that race, with 175. And then B.B. Blevins trailing with 111, and then Jonathan Roberts with 57. And see what District 2 does. As my lovely assistant, 267 with Stacey Harris. Pretty strong lead there, which I anticipated. Stacey had got a really good following in Spring City.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult to overcome, even if that's just early vote, which it's probably not. That's a lot of votes for just the early vote.
Yeah. And then with County Commission District 3, looks like Philip Dunn, the incumbent there, is got a strong lead there. And then with District 4, looks like we have Dustin Henderson. Look at that. It's a very, very good number there for Dustin. So, and then let's go to District 5, see what District 5 is doing. So we have Emily Fisher leading that, not by much though, with 135. Justice Stout with 128. Frankie with 63, and then Justin Davis with 40. So very interesting for that district with Dustin. Because being, which, like you said, county executive race, rising star. He may be more of a rising star than what we thought tonight.
Well, not only that, but running an election is a skill. Yeah. Campaigning is a skill. And Dustin ran a big campaign, ran it very well. And so it's not surprising at all to see him performing well tonight based on that experience, because it's getting up and talking in front of people gets easier every time you do it. Walking up and knocking on a strange door with somebody you don't know gets easier every time you do it.
Oh, yeah.
And so that might be part of what you're seeing there.
Yeah. So good deal. All right, we're getting Ray votes for, it looks like, so we've got Ray votes for the House and then also Ray votes for the Senate, the Tennessee Senate, District 1. So it looks like Adam Lowe leading in Ray with 1,678. Teresa trailing behind that with 1,275, and then Dennis with 201. So, I expected Teresa to do well in Rhea County, just because she's from here, she's built a business here. But it still looks like Adam was still able to overcome that and still have a strong lead even in Rhea County. So that's interesting to look at. And then looking at the House race, it's closer in Rhea County than what I thought. But Bimbo. 1,607, and then Andy with 1,540. So
that's got to be early vote in absentee, because we voted 3,800, I think, early in absentee or early. Yeah. So some number of those didn't pull a Republican ballot. There are probably a couple hundred Democratic ballots in there, a few hundred.
Yeah.
So that's probably early in absentee. So again, is day of different than early?
Yeah. Looks like we're getting some results for the sheriff race as well. John Argo, 2,760, and then Jeff Hancock, 1,056.
Same thing there, early and absentee. That totals up to about how many we voted.
Yeah. So it looks like we're getting a lot of the early and absentee, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, when it says 2 of 14, I think like the precincts 2.
One of those is early and one of them is absentee.
Yeah, yep. So I think that's where, I think that's how we're getting that. So. So good deal. So it looks like we're trailing. So, looking at the county executive race, with Ron and with Adam, Ron got a couple hundred, lead, so far with early and absentee. Going to see how today, went for, for that race. Looks like Jack is, actually, pulling some votes as well. With 325, but that's really not that's a hard deficit there for him to be able to recover from that.
Yeah, at this point, barring something really strange, you're really just talking about Ron Travis and Adam McCrory at this point with that kind of vote differential. And if I'm looking up that way, it's because to us the screen's up there.
Yeah.
That 1961 to 1483. In a single county race, your early and absentee vote is generally pretty representative of what you're going to get. Because, it used to be that older voters tended to vote early and were maybe more likely to vote absentee, as were military voters. But now I think early voting has gotten so popular that it's about half of the votes cast. And so I don't, I'm not yet 40. I vote early. Every election I vote early. And so I'm certainly a younger voter as voters go.
Yeah.
And so I think unless something big changes, we're probably going to see Ron Travis winning this county executive race based on those numbers.
Yeah. We'll see. basically at this point, Adam's going to have to do well today.
Yeah, he'll have to way overperform his early voting total to make that up. Because you got to remember, for every 10 votes cast, Ron's going to get some of them, right? So even if Adam is way overperforming his early vote total with day of voters, he's not going to get all of them, right? So he doesn't just have to win it; he has to win it by a lot.
Yeah.
If it's 50-50, then they're both going to add the same number of votes to that total.
Yeah. And then with Jack being in the mix of that, Jack's obviously going to pull some too. So,
and once again, it's interesting how those dynamics work. Ron is somebody who comes into this with a lot of name recognition. He's been winning elections countywide since 2012. Is when he was first elected to the state house, and once again, those votes that are going to Jack Kaufman, who would they have voted for otherwise? Maybe they would have stayed home. Jack is another one of these guys who's exciting for his supporters. He's somebody people want to support fervently, who do support him. He's done a lot of work in the community. He's done a lot of things for individuals, building ramps, going and helping people that have trouble getting out and getting about. And would they have voted anyway? Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. But if they did vote, you'd have to think a vote for Jack is a vote against the status quo.
Yeah.
Probably votes for Adam if Jack wasn't in the race. So it's always interesting to kind of – and there's no way to know for sure because we have a secret ballot. We don't know. Yeah. But it's always interesting to see, hey, how does that match up? Because you've got Ron Travis who I think he's obviously not the incumbent, but I think he would be a little more identified with the status quo of Rhea County politics than Adam. Adam would be a less status quo politician, I think, in Rhea County politics. And so, if Jack isn't in the race, this is probably a closer race.
Yeah.
It's interesting to watch how all that plays out.
Yeah. I'm going to go on here. I'm going to the state website again to see if we have any other results so far. And I think that I did actually need to put these numbers here.
Looks like we have early vote in for Bledsoe. Did you have that already with the state representative race?
Oh no, I didn't.
Looks like Andy is outperforming Bimbo by almost 2-1. So from Bledsoe, you have 459 votes for Swafford and 240 for McCauley.
What did you say? Andy has what now?
Andy has 459.
Okay, and then Bimbo.
Then Bimbo has 240 from Bledsoe.
Wow. Okay.
So that should give the total the state's reporting right now for District 31 is 1282 for Andy Swafford and 727 for Bo McCauley.
727.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'll update these too as we go. I messed up and added the other. I didn't do it by county. I added the total in the wrong section. So
don't see any votes in for Van Buren County yet on the state website.
Okay.
Although Rhea County is still not reporting. Those totals I gave you were from the state website. Rhea County has not reported the state election dashboard yet. So those numbers you had were running ahead of what's going on in the state. That's why those totals aren't matching up just yet.
Gotcha. Let me see here.
I cannot. I am surprised at how close that Rhea County early vote is between Bimbo and Andy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, especially we know with Bimbo, Bimbo being, like you said earlier, Rhea County. Rhea County, local, Lazy Boy also owned Bimbo's restaurant for a long time, so definitely, well known.
And you and I were talking before we went live. Yeah. One of the things that really comes into play in these races is there are a lot of voters in any place, but here, who aren't really engaged with the community in a big way. Yeah. If you're somebody who's really involved socially in the community, you've met Bimbo McCauley.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not, you probably haven't. And there's a good chance you haven't. And I think about somebody like I'm gonna call out my dad here. I'm obviously very politically involved, and I drag him kicking and screaming along with me. If I didn't, he would sit at home all day and watch cable news. Right? That's what he would do.
And post on Facebook.
And so and he would be less likely to meet candidates who you have to go out to meet.
Yeah.
And so Andy Swafford has run a very PR-driven campaign where he's obviously reaching out to voters through internet advertising, through social media advertising, through mail, And you gotta if you want to run a campaign, you got to meet the voters where they are, and a lot of times they're home watching TV.
Yep.
And so I think what you're seeing there is probably a reflection of that. That Andy's overperforming in way overperforming what I would have expected in Rhea County, in no small part because of that PR edge that his campaign has obviously run, a very well run campaign. I will say that.
Yeah. All right, I'm just updating those to make sure that I had still nothing from Van Buren. Still only early and absentee. Looking at the Spring City Commission race, which they should once the they only have 2 precincts there, which the 2 that you're seeing is not accurate. I mean, that's accurate, but it's early and absentee. Their precincts, they have the one right there at City Hall, well, Old City Hall, and then they have the Pentecostal Worship Center, who votes in this election, but there's only like a handful of voters that actually go to the Pentecostal Worship Center to vote. So once we actually probably get a little bit more concrete numbers, once this precinct number goes up, we'll probably be able to kind of tell what this race is going to look like. But right now, I mean, Jenna Sherrill is actually doing better, like I said, not knowing her and not, knowing what she stands for, for her to even be above, Robbie, who's very active, very involved, well known. But her and Robbie both look like they're leading that. That looks promising for both of them tonight.
Got some new numbers from outside Rhea County on the state house race. Sequatchie County has started reporting precincts.
Okay.
Right now, the total for Sequatchie stands at 1,190 votes for Swofford.
Okay.
And 716 for McCauley.
Gotcha.
I think you're changing the total there.
Oh, yep. So is this for?
This is for Sequatchie.
This is for Sequatchie.
Yep.
Okay, so 1,190.
1190 for Swofford and 716 for McCauley. Yep.
Okay.
And then we also, looks like we got some new numbers in the state Senate race.
Okay.
Let me refresh this and just make sure. So Bradley has started reporting individual precincts. And right now the totals for Bradley County are 5,140 votes for Lowe, 1,096 votes for Beavers, and 927 votes for Congeloso.
Gotcha.
And then also McMinn County has reported what I assume is its early and absentee.
Okay.
McMinn is showing 2,055 votes for Bow.
For
Low. Excuse me. Yeah, I was looking at 2 things at the same time.
2,055.
2,055 votes for Low.
Okay.
Yep. 562 for Beavers, and 306 for Congeloso.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the precincts are starting to come in from various places. Bradley looks like they've reported about a third of their precincts, a little more than a third.
Okay. Get this here.
Let me switch back over to the governor's race and see how that's going. Hit refresh here. Yep, same numbers are holding as stuff scrolls in. 42.5 for Blackburn, 33.5 for Rose, and 24 for Fritz. So about the same. And one county has reported only. So one county has finished reporting. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Looks like right now Charlie Hatcher. Back to that house race I told you we were watching in Middle Tennessee, where you had a Trump-endorsed incumbent versus a Bill Lee-endorsed challenger. That Bill Lee-endorsed challenger is currently leading 50 to 49, so that could turn out to be a really close race.
Oh, wow.
Don't know, what precincts are reporting. Is that only early voting? Is that others? Each candidate's currently got about 12,000 votes, so that's probably just early and absentee streaming in.
Perfect. Looking at about to get some final results for Spring City being sent to me at the moment. Let me look here and see if anything is. Currently looking at the.
I'm still that's incredibly close for Rhea County. So right now, with early and absentee, you've got 67 votes separating McCauley and Swofford. That's remarkably close.
Yeah.
Not just closer than I expected, but close for any election.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interested to see that. I'm currently looking at right now. I'm looking at looking to see for the House of Representatives, the District 31, the total right now, to make sure I have those accurate.
So I've got the total pulled up right here if you want it.
Yeah.
The total per the state dashboard is 3189 for Swofford.
Oh, 3189, and then
2563 for Macaulay.
perfect. It looks like here.
And then in that state executive committee woman race for Rhea County, Emily Beatty is leading Judy Cooley a little less than 2-1, 64 to 36, roughly.
Looking to make sure Spring City may be. Asking to make sure that Spring City Commission race may be finalized, as this may be the final numbers. I'm looking to confirm with the Election Commission office to see what that looks like. So I'm looking here, looking to see if anything else is being updated.
I'm looking at the state dashboard, and looks like nothing new is coming in.
Okay. Okay. Looking here, just looking to make sure nothing's being updated. While we're waiting on some more results to come in, we'll go ahead and just take a small little break. Maybe whenever we get back, we'll have more precincts, but reporting in. But we'll take a little small break, and we'll be right back with you. Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines of Bailey Hufstetler. I am on the road today. It is election day, going through visiting with all the candidates, and I have Justice Davis here, who is running for County Commissioner District 5. How you feeling?
I'm glad today is election day.
Glad for it to be over.
Yeah, it's been a long road, man.
Yeah. So you've been traveling the county, talking to people in your district. How are you feeling today with it?
I just hope people actually come out and vote. It's election day, so it's a big day, and people need to just come out and vote, let their voices be heard today.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for running, and we really appreciate you.
Okay, thank you, Bailey.
You're watching Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler, and my name is Bailey Hufstetler. I have Alvin here with us from Bishop Realty, located right here in the heart of Dayton, Tennessee, right next to the courthouse. Alvin, thank you for being willing to come on and be a part of the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So Bishop Realty actually is an advertising partner for our election coverage episode that's happening tonight. We're very excited about it, very excited about what's happening. And thank you and your dad. So this is actually Michael, who owns the agency. This is his son. So it's in your blood, it seems like.
Yep, it's the family business.
Exactly.
When I graduated high school, the state of Tennessee offered this licensing program where you can get your license for free online. And my dad pointed it out, said, hey, you can earn some money while you're in college. And me and Ben took the classes, and here we are.
Yeah, here you are, selling real estate, actively selling real estate here in Rhea County. What's your most favorite thing about selling real estate?
Every single deal is different. You get to encounter unique scenarios every single time. Everybody needs a little bit of different kind of help, and you get to do some really fun things.
So you mentioned college.
Yeah.
So you're studying or did study at?
I'm studying at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville in the Baker School of Public Policy, but they allow me to be flexible, and I have plenty of time to sell real estate on the side and get up to all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you're able to do both, and that's the great thing about real estate is it does give you that flexibility to be able to do that. Do you have any exciting things happening on the market right now that you want to tell people about?
Well, right now I have 3 investment properties about to come up for sale. If you know any investors, flippers, someone looking for an inexpensive flip home, give me a call.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, you heard him. Give him a call. If you have any real estate needs, give Alvin and the team here at Bishop Realty a call. The family-owned business right here in the heart of Dayton, Tennessee. Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I am here. I'm on the road today. It's election day, very busy. I am here with Mr. Frankie Robinson, who's running for County Commissioner District 5, and just wanted to come on and just say hello. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good deal. Good deal. You've been busy today?
It's not been too bad today, but hopefully they'll come on out and start voting here shortly.
What would you like to say to the voters today?
I just want them to come out and vote for who their candidate is, and hopefully everything turns out to be good and turns out the way we want it to turn out.
Awesome. Thank you, Frankie, so much.
Hello, you're watching Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I am Bailey Hufstetler. I'm here at Bishop Realty here in downtown Dayton, and I've got Aaron here who sells real estate here at Bishop Realty. Aaron, thank you for being here today. So Aaron, you sell real estate. So what is your most favorite thing about selling real estate?
Just helping people. You know, there's a lot of people that are out there that are in need, needing to have someone that they can trust, and that's what I like about this company as well. And so it's a very trustful name.
That's awesome. What'd you do before real estate?
Well, I was a flight paramedic for 25 years.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for your service for that. That's a tough job, and thank you for doing that. So what prompted you to switch from that to real estate?
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Well, that's awesome.
So
well, I think successful real estate agent is on the horizon for that. That's
yes,
what you're going to be when you grow up. You got anything exciting going on in the real estate market right now that you'd like to let people know about?
Yeah, we just had a closing this morning. So I think that puts us at 26 right now for the books, so to speak. And so we have a lot more year left. So
that's awesome. Well, if you got any real estate needs, reach out to Aaron here at Bishop Realty here in downtown Dayton. Aaron, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines with Bailey Hufstetler. I am on the road today. It's election day, so I'm traveling, talking to all the different candidates. Got Justice Stout here, who is running for County Commission District 5. How you feeling?
I feel good. The weather's great. Got a little bit of cloud coverage, so it's not too hot. Everyone's really friendly, which I really appreciate. I love Dayton, love Rhea County. I'm excited to see the results come in today. I hope everyone gets out and votes.
So early voting, 3,800 and some change votes that's come in so far. Yep. Do you think that we're going to have a good turnout today, hopefully?
I mean, it seems like it. My guess is that the county executive race is going to drive a lot of traffic, which I think is a good thing. You know, obviously we want to see a lot of people voting. So yeah, I think we'll see a lot of traffic, but we'll find out tonight.
Yeah. Are you doing anything special? Watch parties, anything? Or are you going to be at Centennial Park? Or
I'm going to be at Centennial Park. I think it's a fantastic tradition that Dayton and Rhea County has, and I think it's just a perfect example of how politics should be done. Respectful, friendly. And so I'll be there. I'll be congratulating everybody. And win or lose, it'll be a great evening. And
Perfect. Well, good luck, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, looks like we've got some more updated numbers really quick. In the county executive race, Ron, 2,157 with 4 precincts out of 14 reporting. And then Adam behind that with 1,596. And then Jack, 379. John, 2,962. And then Jeff, 1,221. And then looks like we're getting some more that she's currently updating right now. And I'm also waiting to confirm too about the Spring City race, making sure that that those are final numbers. So hold tight on those. County Commission District 1, 4 out of 14 precincts. Looks like 175 for Billy Thetford, B.B. Blevins 111, Jonathan Roberts 57. So it looks like Billy, the incumbent there, is leading with that pretty strongly. County Commission District 2, Stacey Harris still leading 267, Reed Smith 85, and then Thomas Beaver 48. And then County Commission, Philip Dunn still 333, Mindy 101, Dustin Henderson 288, Leo 117, and then Marty Revis 49. And then looking over here to see what's being updated over here. And they're perfect. Looking at different numbers here.
Sorry, I'm texting for information right now.
No, you're good.
So I'm looking at the state dashboard for any new numbers, and looks like it's being very slow to come in. We're an hour past the polls closing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at those totals, how many? Okay, you've got the current totals for the state senate race. I think that's obviously that's going to be an insurmountable lead. So that one's effectively over.
I would say, yeah. Teresa's going to have a hard time, I think, catching up to that.
Yeah, even if every single voter who voted today in Rhea County voted for Teresa, she could not make up that gap.
Yeah.
And there won't be enough votes across the river to make up that gap, too. So I'd say that race is over.
Yeah.
That state representative race is not over. That's very close. It just depends on how early voting, how much it differentiates from day of.
Yeah.
If it stays in line, obviously you're going to have Andy Swafford by I don't know, 10 points or so.
Yeah.
What do you know? What precincts are in completely in Rhea County?
I don't know individual precincts. So far, they don't say which precincts are in. They just give me the total, the number, and even down at the courthouse, they don't. It's always just the number of precincts that are come in, not which ones have.
So if the precincts are Dayton, if Dayton is in, then I would think that county executive race, Adam could potentially close that gap, because I think Adam has spent a lot of time in Spring City from what I've observed.
Yeah.
Ron's, I think, both of them are Dayton people, but I think Ron probably has a slightly stronger base of support in Dayton than in Spring City.
Yeah.
However, the fact that you've got numbers from the Spring City Commission race suggests to me that we may have the Spring City numbers in those totals.
Yeah. And actually, it looks like with Spring City doing 4 out of 14 because of the 2 meaning early and absentee, and then with 4 out of 14, I think that out of 14, that's just a generic thing that the paper prints. But I think that Spring City's done.
Well, those 14 precincts are Rhea County's 14 precincts,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So we don't. But yeah, I would say that since Spring City has reported its votes, and yeah, it's going to be really hard to make that up.
Yeah.
It's starting to. You got a 600 vote lead now. That's starting to get into the territory where you really have to seriously overperform day of.
And what's interesting too, the margin between, looking back at, let me look here and see. So whenever Adam ran the last time, whichever more candidates that were running the last time, the vote was very close. Jim Vincent got 1,585. Adam McCrory got 1,168. So looking at this, Ron has even a bigger lead at this point than what ended the race last time.
Because you got to figure, you and I were talking earlier, name recognition makes a huge difference, and Ron obviously has a lot of name recognition. And when you've got, you hate to call anybody the default candidate, right? But all things being equal, the person with more name recognition is generally going to win.
Yeah.
And with Ron having as much name recognition as he has, and having run as many successful campaigns across this entire county as he has, if you're not that involved, if a campaign hasn't touched you personally, you're probably more likely to vote for him than either Adam or Jack. And when you think back to 4 years ago, Jim Vincent was in the same boat. Jim Vincent had probably the most name recognition. He was already the county executive, albeit appointed, not elected. And so he was sort of, you could call him the default in a way.
Yeah.
And so with that many campaigns out shaking hands and knowing people and having family, then those are pulling votes away that probably all things being equal would have been most likely to go to Jim Vincent. And so I think that maybe what you're seeing here is you have fewer campaigns pulling votes away, and as they pull votes, they're probably hurting the person with the most name recognition.
Yeah.
Let me look here and see if there's anything new on the state front. Marcia Blackburn, John Rose, Monty Fritz, that race is pretty stable. It's still holding about the same as it's been all night. Charlie Hatcher is pulling away. That's the Bill Lee endorsed candidate against the Trump endorsed candidate in the 5th congressional district. Looks like there's some more numbers in the state Senate race, because the state dashboard is showing a total of over 11,000 votes for Adam Lowe. So somebody else reported some numbers.
Something, yeah. Let's look here and see. I've got their race pulled up. It looks like maybe Bradley. Yeah, it looks like Bradley did. McMahon still not doing any precincts. Meg's. Yeah, so it looks like Bradley updated. So let's go to.
Yeah, Bradley's got some more precincts reporting. So they've got Bradley's almost in. They've got 15 of 18 precincts reporting, which one of the things when you're watching election results, in Rhea County, not all precincts are created equal, right? Yeah. So what I mean by that is some precincts have more voters than others. Yeah. You go to Wolf Creek or Fraser, you're going to have more votes cast than anywhere else in the county. Yeah. And so 15 of 18 doesn't tell you how many votes are outstanding still, but you can kind of guess. Yeah. And so Bradley County is close to reporting all of its numbers, it looks like. Which obviously Bradley County is where the most votes are going to come for Adam Lowe, because he was a county commissioner in Bradley County, has a pretty serious base of support in Bradley County, and there are a lot of voters in Bradley County. Yeah. What's actually surprising me about that, though, is that Dennis Beavers is running ahead of Teresa Congeloso, because Teresa Congeloso spent, quite a bit of money. Her campaign did. Yeah. I think it's interesting to look at campaign finance numbers, and her campaign has spent around $100,000 or so, which is not an insignificant amount for a state senate race. Yeah. So in Bradley County he's leading Teresa by about 200 votes in Bradley County as of right now. And I'm looking to see Van Buren County has not reported anything yet.
No.
Unless it's come in the past 30 seconds. Nope.
I'm going to change this just in case, because I don't know where. Because Rhea County still hadn't.
Looks like the only county in our district, at these district-wide races, these House and Senate races that have been reporting any numbers yet, any individual precincts, still is just Sequatchie County. Yeah. Everything that's shown on the state dashboard appears to still be early and absentee.
Van Buren still hadn't yet. Let me go back to this and just see. Perfect, yeah. So it looks like right here, still not got any. Still no updates yet in the county. So.
Where are you getting your county numbers from? Do you have somebody down at the Centennial Park?
Yes, yeah. Well, somebody's down at the courthouse. They've got access to the spreadsheet, and as Felicia and Amy hand out papers, right, they're typing in the results into the spreadsheet. So from those papers. So, looks like she's typing some more. So it looks like we're about to get some updates.
More numbers incoming.
More numbers incoming.
Emily Beatty is still running well ahead of Julie Cooley. I don't see a path to make up those numbers, so I think Emily Beatty is going to be the Republican State Executive Committee woman again. Yeah.
It looks like 7 out of 14 precincts reporting in the county executive race. Ron's still leading, 2,517.
Yeah, that's slipping out of reach for Adam. It's going to be very difficult to make that up.
1,837 for Adam, and then Jack with 435. So let's see. So it looks like here, just looking as she updates these here. So, and it's hustling and bustling down there at the courthouse right now. So there's people bringing in briefcases of the voting machines, and
hopefully nobody's finding ballots in their trunks.
Right, exactly. So we're looking here. Looks like county commission. Looks like District 3's got some updated numbers. Philip Dunn with 470. Let's see what Mindy does as she's updating these here. 147.
So that's probably all the votes in District 3, I bet.
I would assume so, yeah. Let's see what Dustin does. 450. Marty Revis. 117.80 or
184. Wow.
184.
I would say that's probably all the votes in District 4 too. I'd say District 4's got a new county commissioner.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm curious to see how this turns out, District 5, because that's a pretty widely split vote.
Yeah. Oh.
Looks like Justice Stout.
That was a big jump. So it looked like right now District 5 is shaping to be a 228 for Justice. Emily Fisher with 189. Frankie was 77, and Justin Davis was 63. So it looks like Justice was able to pull ahead and get that. It looks like we're getting some updated numbers for the sheriff's race as well. 3,444 for John. 1,402 for Jeff. So looks like John has got that lead. It's going to be really hard for Jeff to.
All right. So what didn't just update? Because I'd say that's what we're still missing. So it looks like District 1, District 2, so north end of the county.
Looks like it.
Well, maybe there's still some votes up by Spring City yet then. Because those numbers, I would assume those are the complete numbers for Dayton.
I would assume so. Yep.
Plus, we're not seeing, you know, Jacob Ellis got a lot of votes, but he's not got an opponent, so we're not tracking his race. Sandy Francisco got a lot of votes. So I would say the votes we're still missing are probably up from the north end of the county.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting updated numbers for the House race, at least for Rhea County numbers. So Adam Lowe leading in Rhea County, 2,152. Teresa, 1,599. A big, that's not surprising because Adam is just well known and, very well known in Rhea County, very well liked in Rhea County. But for Teresa, this to be her home base, I would have thought that she would have done a little bit better than that.
Bradley is now reporting all 18 precincts, so Bradley's finished. Total for Adam Lowe out of Bradley County is 6,960.
Okay.
Dennis Beavers is 1,508. And then Teresa Congeloso is 1,254.
Okay.
McMinn has still not reported any precincts. Meggs is starting to have some precincts trickle in.
Okay.
So Meggs, the current total for Meggs County is 773 for Adam Lowe.
Okay.
288 for Dennis Beavers. And 181 for Teresa Congeloso. And then the state dashboard's numbers are still lagging behind Rhea County totals. Yeah. So we'll just leave what's up there, I guess.
That's what she's probably put on the paper, or what's been put on the paper for her down there. So I would say those are.
Van Buren County has still not reported the first vote. Wow. Now, Van Buren County is not a very big county, so I don't think that, looking at that state representative race, unless that race tightens up some, I don't think there'll be enough votes in Van Buren County to swing the race.
Yeah.
I know. There's a couple conservative groups, a conservative group that is supporting Bo McCauley over there, but it's a small county.
Yeah.
And so it's the smallest county in the district. So I don't think there'll be enough votes there to make up the deficit that's currently showing there. He'll have to make it up in Rhea County probably, and it doesn't look like that's happening.
No.
I mean, Rhea County, what are we down to? We're down to 20 votes difference in Rhea County.
Wow.
That's surprising.
Yeah. That is very surprising. Let's look here and see if anything. So,
that's just a really close race in Rhea County. Even setting aside the fact you've got a person who's from Rhea County running against somebody who's not, that is a very close total. If that was any other race, that would be a close total.
Yeah.
Right now, and of course we're not quite done getting results, but we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah. Wondering to see what. Yeah. With 7 out of 14, we are halfway there. So very interested to see that. Well, while we're getting results, it looks like things are kind of slowing down. We've got, like I said, 7 out of 14. I think it's safe to say that Spring City Commission race is called. I don't think they have any more precincts. I'll verify to make sure. But Spring City should be done. So it looks like your new commissioners for Spring City are Gina Sherrill and Robbie Harvey. So that's those are those two. That race right there, I believe, that's complete. If I have to correct that later, I will. But I'm almost certain that race is done. So I think that their precincts are done and closed. So we're good with that. Is Dustin Henderson. Dustin, Leo Stevens. Leo is someone who has always been very well liked, very well known in the district. I'd have to look back, maybe on our break, I'll look back and see what his margin was last time. But Dustin Henderson has done very well in that race. That's a pretty big lead. If I'm not mistaken, I think that almost is flipped of what Leo. Whenever Leo ran the last time, Leo had the big lead.
I don't remember. Did Leo even have an opponent last time?
See, I can't remember. I'll have to look and see what his.
Well, no, Marty Revis ran for county executive last time, so
yes, he did.
I'm not sure Leo had an opponent last time. So
let me look. Let's see if I can find.
Because Marty Revis was one of the five people that ran for county executive.
Let's see here. So in 2018, let's see if he had any. Okay, so 2018, whenever he was contested, he had Jack Kaufman actually ran against him during that race. Jack Kaufman, right. Jim Hall Sr., and then Allison Burnt.
That's right. I forgot Jack was in that district because Jack ran for county commission, and that was the district. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and Leo had a pretty big lead in that, 256, compared to Jim Hall Sr. with 199, and then Jack 154. Jack done better in that race, and then Allison Burnt 96. So very popular. And then let me look. So 2018. So in 2022 would have been the next race for that.
I want to look just out of curiosity. I'm going to go afield here. I'm looking at. Okay, I was just curious if there might be any sign of an upset in the primary for District 4 of the United States House, which is the district we were in. But it looks like Scott Desjardins is winning that nomination again in a landslide right now. Sometimes when they mess with the district composition, change. It can change who winds up having.
Did you say Scott is?
Yeah. It looks like he's got about 66% of the vote in. Now it's only people are still reporting, so that could change. But as we're seeing, it doesn't really appear to be changing rapidly. I mean, one thing about Tennessee now is Tennessee votes so much early. About half the vote early, and that's pretty common across the state. Most places are voting about 50% of their turnout is voting early. So it sometimes things happen, but generally early voting is going to track pretty closely the final result.
Yeah, and I always early vote because I'm afraid that if I don't, something's going to happen on election day. I'm not going to be able to vote. So
same. I was supposed to be in a trial today, and so I voted early because I didn't know, but the trial wound up getting delayed for. We had kind of a tragedy in this district. Actually, one of our circuit judges passed away this week.
Saw that.
And Judge Cam Cameron, a wonderful, wonderful man. I know a lot of people in the community knew him. He was very active. He was over here a lot for court, but he also campaigned over here 4 years ago, and just tragic. He was I believe he was 61 years old.
Wow.
Quite a tragedy. So if any of y'all watching or the praying type, pray for Judge Cameron's family for comfort for them.
Wow.
Still waiting for more numbers. I think, as far as stuff that might still be subject to change here, I think the outcome of the Senate race is pretty clear.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, our sheriff's race is pretty clear. Yeah. That's you're talking about having to win virtually every vote left for Jeff Hancock, and that's not going to happen. County executive race could theoretically still be in doubt, but it's unlikely. I think all your county commission races are pretty well decided at this point.
Yeah.
State House is still close enough to where if Bo overperformed his early vote totals, that could make a difference. But based on the numbers that have been coming in their day of, he's underperforming early vote.
Yeah.
So that at this point, it wouldn't be beyond the pale that Swofford might win Rhea County. I mean, you're talking, my gosh, 20 votes separating them, and the early vote margin was wider than what we're seeing right now. So that means the new votes coming in, the day of votes are tighter, are more heavily favoring Andy Swofford.
Yeah. Well, we've got 7 out of 14 precincts that are reporting as of right now, so we still have about half of the precincts in the county still left to come in. Right now, looks like, obviously, we've got in the county executive race, Ron Travis leading 2,500 votes, John Argo leading 3,400 votes, Billy Thedford 175, Stacey Harris 267, Philip Dunn with 470, Dustin Henderson with 450, and Justice Stout with 228. And then Gina Sherrill and Robbie Harvey winning their race with 120, and then 116. Adam Lowe leading by a huge margin, and then Andy Swofford leading with a small margin. Could still be more to come with that. But while we're waiting, as more precincts come in, we'll go ahead and go to a quick break. Let us get our bearings together, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. Bailey Hufstetler here with Beyond the Headlines of Bailey Hufstetler, and I am on the road today. It's election day, super busy. We've got candidates out everywhere campaigning, standing at poll locations, and I am here at the poll location next to the Rhea County Welcome Center, and I have Andy Swofford here. He is running for State Representative District 31. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great today. It's beautiful out here and a ton of people stopping by. We're just wanting to encourage people to get out and vote today and do their civic duty.
Yeah, so you cover a district, so you've got Rhea County, and then what are your other counties that you cover?
Bledsoe County, Sequatchie County, and Van Buren County.
How you feeling about those other counties, turnouts and stuff?
We're up across the district. This year with the governor's race going, I believe that we're going to have the biggest turnout we've seen since 2022.
Dale, you got anything you'd like to say to the voters today?
Get out and vote, support rural Tennessee.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, looks like we've got some more results in the county executive race that's coming. 11 out of the 14 precincts with Ron Travis 374, Adam McCrory 2,280, Jack Kaufman 566. So looks like we're gearing to that race is probably going to definitely be Ron Travis.
All right, so what we got going in District 2 here?
District
so Stacey's
2.
lead is widening. There's no way that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Stacey Harris is going to be your next commissioner from District 2 for sure. Yeah, Ron, stranger things have happened, but I don't see. I doubt there's enough votes out there to make up that kind of margin now with only 3 precincts left. Unless those 3 precincts are Fraser and Wolf Creek, and they're going really heavy for Adam.
Yeah.
I don't think he can make that up. You're talking 800 votes. That's a lot.
That is a lot. It's a hard gap to get back from. All right. Looks like Stacey Harris, again, which Stacey, like I said before, I assume that Stacy would definitely have a good lead just with knowing who he is. And
yeah, he's run a great county election campaign. One of the benefits of being so politically involved is I get to hear everybody's stump speeches, and I think Stacy's my favorite speaker of the group. He's pretty bombastic. I like that.
And then Philip Dunn, really blowing it out of the water there.
He is
676 on the 199 with Mindy Newell. Let's look and see what happens down here in Dayton. Dayton should be, I would assume Dayton's probably done or close to
I
being
would think
done.
so. With those totals, Dayton's probably done. I don't, looking at the totals of District 1, there may still be some votes left up there.
Yeah.
What District 1 is what? It's Grandview and part of Spring City?
Yes. Yeah.
Does it go into the Spring City limits?
I don't think so. I think District 2 is where city limit starts.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but I know that District 2 has a majority, if not all, of the city limits.
Okay. So District 2 includes Wolf Creek then, or does it?
No, I don't believe
District
so.
3 is Wolf Creek.
District 3 is Wolf Creek.
Okay, that explains that big vote total.
Yeah, District 2 should be just the city limits, similar to kind of like District 5 with Dayton City. I believe that's what District 2 is for Spring City.
Yeah, if Wolf Creek's in, there's not enough votes to make up that county executive race.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Ron Travis. I'm sure he's not watching us. He's probably down at Centennial Park celebrating. But if Ron, if you see this later, congratulations.
I'm gonna say looks like that's his. And then looking here, looks like Andy Swafford took the lead in Rhea County on the state house race, 2,944, 2,447, unless she's updating that. But
let's see. Let me look at the state elections dashboard here for that race because I'm waiting to see. Van Buren County is still not reporting any votes. I wonder if they had some sort of problems over there.
And talking about Dennis Beavers, which I met Dennis over at McMinn County.
Sure.
Whenever they did their public forum over there, and the next day I saw Dennis in Rhea County, but I didn't see Dennis over here very much.
He's actually he worked at Lowe's in Dayton for a while.
Really?
Yeah, for years. I first remember seeing him there after the campaign 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember when I last saw him there, but he was working. He was doing like their contractor sales.
Yeah.
Working the desk that's there on the contractor side of Lowe's. He was doing stuff like doing big sales, selling large quantities of things, right? And so I'm sure he interacted with a lot of people that are voters while he worked there. But I talked to him several times there. He's almost kind of fun to run into him. Nice guy. Yeah. But yeah, he was actually I saw him here repeatedly for a couple of years.
Yeah. One thing I will say, which I only met him, like I said, at that McMinn County thing. He was very well in tune with Donald Trump, and I guess worked for Donald Trump, at some point or something. But his campaign speech, I almost felt like Donald Trump was running for state senate district 1.
Dennis Beavers is a rock-ribbed. He's a red meat conservative.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. He is. He definitely. It was a challenge to Adam Lowe's right, which Adam Lowe is pretty far right. So you have to be pretty far right to run to the right of Adam Lowe. Yeah. But let's see. So the numbers on the state dashboard are varying a little bit from what's on the screen. So I'm assuming the screen is more current.
For Rhea County votes, or for all of them?
So Rhea County is the state dashboard is showing Rhea County with 2,497 votes for Swafford and 2,447 votes for Bow. That's a 50 vote difference. So 2,447 is up there, but I bet we've just got a transposition or something there, maybe.
I would say, maybe she updated with, what's, with that paper down at the courthouse. Let me look and see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Whatever it is, I think either Andy doesn't have as many votes as are showing up there right now, or Bo has more votes than are showing up there right now.
Yeah.
Because that is the number that's on the state dashboard for Bo.
Well, even too, like the state dashboard is only showing 9 out of 12.
Yeah.
Whereas
So I'd like to see Bo's current numbers if we've got that on that screen.
Yeah.
On the your contact down at Centennial Park, I should say, whatever numbers they've got.
Look and see. Let's see here. I just text her and asked her to take a look at those numbers. Got 238 watching us tonight. Thank you for being on. It's been pretty steady. 200 to 300 people viewing at once, so that's been good.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. Hopefully I'm not boring you too bad.
I will say that we've grown up since the last election results. We now have the spreadsheet and we have everything that looks a little bit. Before we didn't have that, so it looks really good. I'm very proud of where we've came. I think getting the election results live like this, I think people really like that. So, so she's saying that those numbers there that are on the spreadsheet right now are accurate. That's what's showing on the paper from the Election Commission office.
Okay, so I would bet there's may just be an error in the state dashboard, or I caught it mid-update. That could be too.
Because I'm looking at...
Oh, Van Buren finally reported some numbers. So in the state rep race, they reported their entire vote. 7 of 7 precincts reporting. So for Andy Swafford, they show 748 votes.
Okay.
And for Bo, they show 523. So that's the election. There's not. Even if... So the state dashboard right now shows Bo behind by 50 votes in Rhea County.
What does the state dashboard show for Bo right now in Rhea County?
In Rhea County, the state dashboard shows 2497 for Swafford and 2447 for Bo.
And then 2497 for
2497. So 50 vote difference in Rhea County, and it's Andy. Andy's running 50 votes ahead. That race is over. There's not enough votes out there to make that up. Because what that means is that Andy's day of totals in Rhea County are running ahead of Bo.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
Yeah.
So that race is. I mean, there's going to be some more numbers flow in, but barring some, I mean, Bledsoe County did not have a particularly huge turnout. Rhea County had a larger turnout than. I mean, Rhea County is bigger than Bledsoe County anyway, but Rhea County's turnout was up 35% from 4 years ago. Bledsoe's was much closer to 4 years ago. So, Bledsoe is where it appears most of the votes are still out, based on the state dashboard here. And, early vote, Andy won 459 to 240. So he's probably going to perform something close to that. And in fact, based on what we're seeing out of Rhea County, may overperform.
Yeah.
That's, again, one of those races where there was a lot of PR, a lot of advertising spending, and that tends to build. So it's not really surprising that the day of vote overperforms the early vote.
Yeah.
Kind of looking around the state again, as votes roll in from around the state, 32 of 95 counties have finished reporting to the state elections office, the Secretary of State's office. And Marsha Blackburn, that race is still holding about the same. Marsha Blackburn's just shy of 43%, John Rose 33%, and Monty Fritz 24%.
Wow.
Jerry Green's going to be the Democrat nominee. She's leading by a mile. She was in Rhea County a couple weeks ago. She had a town hall, I think.
Oh yeah.
And so she came through here. Justin Pearson is going to be the Democrat nominee for the State House in District 9, that member of the Tennessee 3. So I'm sure that will be a very interesting race.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some theatrics there.
Yeah, he's very. That's a good word for it. Theatrical.
Theatrical.
Yeah.
Yep. Emily Beatty's still running. A little less than 2-1, 63 to 36, State Executive Committee.
The girl that I have at the courthouse doing the spreadsheet for us. It's actually Cheyenne Lambeth, Lucinda's daughter. Lucinda told me to tell you hello. She's texting me. We all go to church together. We're all good friends.
Well, tell her hello for me, please.
So she's watching. So she just heard you. So,
all right. Well, hello, Lucinda.
So she said, yeah. So that's who's down there doing it. She's doing it with one hand. She broke her finger at church.
Geez.
Yeah, broke her finger at church a couple of weeks ago, and so she's down there.
So she's dedicated.
Casting all, yes. So very thankful for friends that will go and do stuff. She's got to work tomorrow, and she's out there doing it for me. So thank you. Yep. Lucinda just texted, said I heard. So she heard you say hello. Cheyenne said that down at the courthouse that they're printing off final numbers, so we should be getting final numbers updated here soon. But it looks like Ron Travis leading a really good lead there for the county executive race. And then following that, John Argo obviously doing really well in the sheriff's race. Now I will say, Jeff's a good guy.
Super nice guy.
Very nice. I think here. I think one of the biggest things that's really driving this is obviously John's a very likable guy, but John also has the experience. So I think that's
and the
we're
party
seeing.
affiliation
And the party affiliation.
That makes a big difference. That matters a lot.
Yeah. So I think that is a big thing. But John is just really. John's a really good guy too. So you got two good guys running for the same office, and one of them's got to win. And in this case, looks like John's going to be that victory. So in the Rhea County, in the county executive race, we're getting updated numbers here. 3,456 for Ron Travis, 2,593 for Adam McCrory, and then 688.
Those are final numbers, aren't they?
It should be final numbers, yeah.
Well, congratulations, Ron Travis, winning by about 900 votes.
So it looks like here, yep.
Sorry, I'm like juggling.
No, you're good.
Looking at elections going other places too.
So it looks like it's safe to say Ron Travis is going to be our next county executive. John Argo, our next sheriff. Looking here to see what's updating with all these other races before I say anything.
So it was District 1 that was still out.
Yeah, they just updated. So Bailey Hufstetler with 388, 293 for BB Blevins. And let's see what Jonathan pulled. 124. Which Jonathan, if I'm not mistaken, Jonathan ran the last time.
He did. He did run the last time. Nice guy too.
Yeah,
we're
very nice.
Like we've been talking about all night. We're blessed to have a lot of really just wonderful people who are seeking to serve their fellow citizens in Rhea County. We're very blessed.
Let's see what. Okay, yeah, I figured. Yeah, Stacey Harris winning that for District 2. So Stacey Harris will take that seat and fill my mind's Jim Reed. I don't know why mine went blank. Filling Jim Reed's spot there. So John Argo 4,830, Jeff Hancock 2,014, 14 out of 14. So definitely safe to call that race. Ron Travis, County Executive, John Argo, Rhea County Sheriff. And I would assume all these other races are probably done as well. Yep, Philip Dunn, District 3, Dustin Henderson, District 4. So we're looking at here, if you look at this, so Bailey Hufstetler is the, out of the contested races now, all the other ones, Mark Cashman and, all of them, they didn't have any contestants.
Well, hang on now. There could have been a write-in against Jacob Ellis.
There could have been, yes. There could have been a write-in.
Jacob's my commissioner. I get to be mean to Jacob.
Yes. So if Jacob's watching, there may have been a write-in against you. But so district, and see, which one's District 6? That's District 6 is San Francisco. District 7's Jacob. District 8. Who's District 8?
Is it Mark or is he District 9? Mark Cashman.
I think he's District 9. So who's District 8? Is that Nick Welch?
Yes, that must be Nick
So
Welch.
Nick Welch is District 8. District 9 is Mark Cashman. So you look at here, out of the contested races, 3 out of the 4 3 out of the 4 are going to have new commissioners. So that's
pretty remarkable.
Yeah. So, because it's hard to beat an incumbent, and especially looking at District 5's race with an incumbent running, with 4 people running total. For a newly person who's new to running for office, but also that's pretty remarkable to me.
That is remarkable.
So it looks like all these numbers for the county races are final. Now, obviously, these got to be certified by the Election Commission and the state. So, obviously, once that process goes through, then these will be final. But I mean, at the end of the day, these are the numbers. But we have to say that not final until it's certified.
And certainly, too, we should be thankful for the service of people like Emily Fisher and Leo Stevens. Great people, again, people who have served Rhea County.
Yeah.
I know you was Emily Fisher still the librarian at the high school when you?
She was. Yeah.
And obviously Leo, like I said earlier, a successful businessman in Dayton. Yeah. So he actually put my roof on my house when I had a storm damage a couple years ago. So, but just great people that we should be thankful for the service they've given Rhea County.
Yeah, Emily Fisher, I actually interviewed her today during my my travels across the county, and she's been on the commission for over 20 years.
Yeah, I remember she was on the commission when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I remember her being on it then.
One thing, I don't know if she did it when you were in high school, but with us on our senior night, she would sit up on stage, and all the seniors would sit on the stage and surround her. She sat in the center, and we all would sit surrounding her, and she read us the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Although I will say my senior class was probably a little more rambunctious than your senior class. So.
Were you class president? Is that why?
No, I was not. I was not, in fact, senior class president. All right, looks like Bledsoe's finally in completely.
Okay.
The final numbers out of Bledsoe are 1647 for Andy Swafford.
1647?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And 881 for Bo McCauley.
Okay. So Bledsoe's reported. Van Buren's reported. Are we waiting for any more for Sequatchie?
Sequatchie still shows 1 precinct out. And on the state dashboard, Ray still shows 3 precincts out.
Okay. So they've not. So these numbers that we have are from the paper, from the actual commission office, so they've just not been updated with the state yet. So Ray's numbers should be finalized.
Okay. So, yeah. Looks like Andy Swafford by about 1,700 votes. We're going to have a new county commissioner, which we were going to have anyway. But but congratulations to Andy Swafford.
Yeah, state representative for District 31, young guy.
Yep. He's, like I said, I don't think he's 30. I think he's late 20s. So
that's awesome.
He's a cattle farmer. Grew up on a cattle farm. Nice guy.
Met him for the first time today in person.
Yeah.
At the polls, talking with him. Very,
Well, he was
very likable guy.
Those numbers are even more remarkable because Andy was a late entrant to the race. Andy literally announced he was running for county or for state representative when he went down on the qualified deadline and filed his papers to run.
Oh wow!
So he was a last minute, like he jumped into the race at the last possible minute. But Andy, very politically aware, very politically astute. He's been a county commissioner in Bledsoe County for several years, and is actually who would have thought that we would have it just across the mountain there in Bledsoe County, which is kind of like Rhea County's sister county, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people that live up on the county line that are prominent in Rhea County. Kathy Swafford comes to mind. She does a lot in our community here, and she technically lives in Bledsoe County. Andy is the chairman of the Tennessee Young Republicans, not the Bledsoe County Young Republicans, the Tennessee Young Republicans for the entire state of Tennessee. He is the chairman of.
Wow.
So very accomplished young man, just living right across the mountain there.
That's awesome. I'm trying to get a hold of. I'm texting Ron and John to see if they're good for it. And Bob, if I get them on the phone, can I just turn this microphone down? Yeah, perfect. Or put it up here, actually. Okay. Looking to see if either one of them are good for. Let me call Ron first and see. I feel like JD Vance.
Hello, this is Ron Travis.
Oh, okay. Didn't answer.
Denied.
I feel like JD Vance never was trying to call Trump during that event. Like, oh, didn't answer. I watched John not answer either. John didn't answer me earlier, but his phone was blowing up. So. Oh.
Hello.
Hey, is this John?
Yes, sir.
Hey, John. This is Bailey. I'm on live on the air right now, and wanted to call and congratulate you on your tremendous victory as the Rhea County Sheriff. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. Feeling great.
Good deal.
I feel like 24 years of hard work and caring about this county and treating the people right has paid off.
Oh.
It makes me proud. I'm very humble.
Well, good deal. You're going to make a fine sheriff. And what's one last thing you'd like to say to the voters tonight?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in me, and I won't let you down. I'll give you 100% of everything I've got all the time. And I just appreciate the votes, and thank y'all.
Well, thank you, John, and I look forward to working with you in the future here as our next sheriff.
Thank you so much, Bailey. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All you do for us. Thank you.
Bye. All right, so you heard straight from John. Very thankful, very, very humble and thankful, and going to serve this county well.
And that was the same attitude I saw to John on primary night. He was very touched by the amount of support he had, and I'm sure he's very touched again tonight. I think John's going to make a great sheriff. He's certainly a good man. I think we're going to be lucky to have him.
Yep, I think so too. I'm going to try to call Ron one more time, and then any numbers updating for the state.
He's screening your phone calls.
He's probably getting a ton of phone calls anyway, but. I'm assuming maybe Laura will be with him, maybe. Let me just text her and see. I know that he was at Centennial Park. Knowing him, he's probably talking to anyone and everyone down there.
Probably so.
Oh, here he is. Hey, Ron. Hey, can you hear me?
I got you.
Hey,
I got you, brother.
Hey, we are live on air. Just wanted to call and first congratulate you. And going to be the next county executive for Rhea County. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Been a good night.
Yeah.
You always worry about this. You always wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
But now it's over. It feels pretty good. What's up, brother?
Yeah,
It's good to see you, man.
What would you like to say to the voters one last time?
See, brother. See what now?
I said, what would you like to say to the voters tonight here that are watching?
Oh, man, I just, I can't thank them enough for putting trust in me and supporting me over the last 14 years. And now over this election, it's just phenomenal. I don't have any words that I can say because it's just unbelievable that they support me the way that they do. And I tell you what I will do. I will work every single day for this community. There's no doubt about it. I'm all in. So that's what he just called my name right there.
Well, look at that.
So,
well, congratulations, Mr. Travis.
I love it. I love it. Thanks, man.
Looking forward to working with you.
It's good to see you. Good. Yeah, it'll be great.
Yep. Good deal. Have a good night.
See you. You as well. Bye.
All right. Pretty happy.
Congratulations.
Pretty humble.
Yet again, somebody who I think is going to do a great job for Rhea County, and he sounds like he's ready to work.
Yep, sounds like it. So, well, good deal. Well, all right. Any more updates in the state race before we?
Well, let me hit refresh one more time. So once again, the numbers for the governor's race are holding about the same, with about half of Tennessee counties reporting.
Yeah.
Looking down here to movement on our state representative race. We're still reporting more numbers than the state dashboard is.
Okay.
But that race is over. There's not enough votes there to swing that. Because to make up a 1,700 vote deficit, you'd really need over 3,000 votes still outstanding, and there aren't that many votes out there in that race. There's not that many left.
All right. Well, it looks like, and then with Adams lead in the state Senate race, I mean, there's no coming back from that.
There's no way.
Yeah. So, well, good deal. Well, thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for watching. Ted, thank you for being on.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling me.
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm here. This is. I was just telling Bailey earlier. Down there at Centennial Park, they're out in the steamy humidity, and I'm in here in a nice air conditioned studio, and I kind of like this.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you calling me, Bailey.
Yep, I'm very excited, and thank you. And I'm going to have you on the show more as well. Really excited to see how this is growing and how this is taking shape for the community and what we're going to be able to do. Next thing we have coming up that's big is our Senior Expo that we're doing. So that's Wednesday, September the 9th. That is going to be at the Rhea County Fairgrounds from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. This event is shaping up to be a really good event for the county. We do have quite a bit of vendors that have already signed up and registered to be a part of that. If you are a vendor and you want to register to be a part of that, please do so. There's a form on our website or on our Facebook page, and also you can just message us and say, hey, can you send me the form or can we sign up, and we'll get you the information. So definitely shaping up to be a really good event for Rhea County seniors. So again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Congratulations to all the candidates that won, and we'll be posting these results later as we get closed up. We'll be posting those to where if you missed the results tonight, or if the screen was too hard to see with the numbers, we'll be posting them individually as well. Thank you to Cheyenne down at the courthouse for helping tonight with inputting these numbers for us, and thank you to the ladies down at the Election Commission office, Felicia and Amy. They work tirelessly every election and really throughout the entire year to really even get prepared for the elections. But they are just a phenomenal group down there, a really big, really good dynamic duo that just works really, really well together and works really, really well for us and very helpful. And they're just really just good people. So thank you to them as well for keeping elections safe and secure here in Rhea County. Tennessee's still #1 in election integrity, so very good, and it all comes down to local people like Felicia and Amy who work really hard to keep those secure. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pioneer Events is going to be here as our guest, and so very excited about that. But as always, God bless Rhea County, God bless Tennessee, and God bless America.